Hi Year 4, it's nearly the weekend, it's Friday, and that means it's a times table day. Today we're looking at the 11 times table, which has a really nice pattern to it. Have a look at all the numbers in the 11 times table. What pattern do you notice, particularly in the first 9 answers? You might have noticed that the tens number goes up in ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, all the way up to 9. And also the ones does the same thing. So the ones number goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, all the way up. It's only really those last few calculations that catch us out, but don't worry, we'll come to those later. So why does the 11 times table have this pattern? Well, if we look at the number 11, you'll see why. Here on the left, we've got some deans showing us 11, so we have 10 and 1. And the number 11 has 1 10 and 1 1. So every time you multiply it, you still end up with the same number of tens and ones. Let's have a look. I've got 5 groups of 11 here. As I count up in 11s, see what happens in the tens column and the ones column. So if I've got 1 11, then I've got 1 10 and 1 1. So the tens and ones number is the same. But I've then got another group of 11. I've now got 2 tens and 2 ones. And we keep going, and you'll find that when you're counting up, you still have the same number of tens and the same number of ones. So we've now got 4 tens and 4 ones. We have 5 11s, we've got 5 tens and 5 ones. And that works all the way up until we can't fit any more tens into our box. So we've got 9 tens, and after that we can't put any more in. We have to turn to hundreds. That's what makes the pattern so easy. But what about those bottom numbers? 10 times 11, 11 11s, and 12 11s. Well, actually there's a pattern for those as well. 10 times 11, you know how to multiply things by 10. We've done that several times in the last few weeks. So 10 times 11 is easy. So really, we're just looking at these two at the bottom. What is an easy way to remember these two numbers? Well, actually, the 11 times table has another hidden trick that not a lot of people know about. Let's have a look. So we have 11 times 11 and 12 times 11. Those are the ones we need to learn. But there's an easy pattern by moving this number here, the number we're multiplying by 11. If we put it in our answer like this, but with a gap in the middle, then I'll tell you what to do next. We put them across with a gap in the middle. And all you do is you have to add these two digits together and then put the answer in the middle. So 1 add 1 is 2. So we put a 2 in the middle and it makes the correct answer, 121. So same with this one. We split up the 12. So we've now got 100 and 2 ones, and we've got a gap in our tens. So all we need to do is do 1 add 2, and that's 3. And we put that in the middle to make 132. Isn't that clever? And you know, that works with any 2-digit number that you multiply by 11. I'll show you. If we've got 35 times 11, that sounds quite tricky, and 61 times 11 too. Why not pause the video and have a go with our new trick and see if you can work out what the answers are. Okay, let's work it out together. So we've got the 35 times 11. So I'm going to put my 3 and 5, but with a gap in the middle. And then I'm going to add my 3 and my 5 together. So 5 and 3 makes 8. So the 8 goes in the middle. 35 times 11 is 385. Try it on a calculator if you don't believe me. 61, same thing. We put our 6 and our 1 with a gap in the middle in our tens column. And we can do 6 add 1, well that's 7. We put the 7 in the middle. 61 times 11 is 671. Pause the video and have a go with some other multiples of 11. Okay, some of you might have noticed a bit of a problem. If we look at this one, for example, 49 times 11, we can do the same thing. We put our 4 here, we put our 9 here with a gap in the middle, we add 4 and 9 together, and that makes 13. So can we just put 13 in the middle? That doesn't look right, does it? 49 times 11, that's not going to be 4,000 and something. That's far too big. So there's got to be another way. And there is. What we do is a bit like column addition. So we want to put our 13 in the middle, but it's too much. So what we do is we put the 3 in the middle, and then the 1 that we've got, our 10 that we've got, we add to the hundreds here. So instead of 439, that then comes out and becomes 539. That bit's a bit tricky, I know. Luckily, the only thing we need you to do today is be able to get all the way up to 12 times 11. Your first challenge is to have a go at hit the button again. Remember, go into Google, just type hit the button, and it'll be the first result that comes up. So we want times tables again. And this time we want the 11 times table. You can either play hit the answer, where as we go into it, it gives you a question and you have to find out the answer and hit the right button. Or you can do hit the question, where if we go into the 11s, it tells you the answer and you have to hit the right question. Maybe try a mixture of the two just to test your skills. Then you've got a challenge on My Maths as well. It's a lot like the 9 times table you did last week. The first part of the challenge is to just answer questions on the 11 times table. The second part of the challenge is a beat the clock challenge, where you try and get as many correct answers as you can in the time you're given. If you find that the timer's distracting you while you play this game, maybe just use a post-it note or a piece of paper to cover up the timer so that you can't see it. Hopefully that will help. Enjoy your challenges today and have a really good weekend. See you on Monday.